This is my tiny shop. I was inspired by Tim Sway to make a video about my shop. There's a lot of videos about big, well-organized shops, and I figured there's space for a video about small shops and how to work around the problem of not having much space. My table saw here, not a very nice table saw, but a cheap table saw. And eventually I'm going to put it on wheels so I can move it around. Everything's going to be on wheels eventually. This is a work in process. Come on in. I've tried, because I've got not much space, I am using the rafters here for hanging lots of jigs, my push sticks. I've got my my clamps up here, more clamps here, shop towels. Here's my workbench, and I like this open style here. For me personally, if I have stuff in drawers, I just lose them. I have trouble finding them. They get really cluttered. Having everything have its own space really works for me. We've got a chop saw here, which I think eventually is going to go on a small table over here, so that I can run the boards out the window if I have to, and I'll make some sort of support outside to support the end of the boards. It's the same with the table saw. The table saw normally lives here by the door when I'm just doing short stuff with the chop sled, crosscut sled. If I need to cut long boards, I can. Sorry for the noise. I can run it this way, and again out the window. Okay, and that way I can get an 8-foot board and rip an 8-foot board out the window. Okay. I have a small bench drill press, Trooper, which is a Mexican brand. It's okay, kind of underpowered and not much throw. And the worst part is that it doesn't have a track on the spindle, and so getting things up and down and keeping them centered is a problem. I have a small 9-inch Craftsman that I bought used here in Mexico. They do have Craftsman in Mexico. They do have Sears. This is fine. It's got about a 3.5-inch high and about 9 inches deep. I can cut. I've actually resewn boards, only 3.5-inch boards, but you know, if you're making small stuff, toys or boxes, things like that, 3.5 inches is enough. Down here in the corner, against the back wall, is a lathe I bought. This lathe is manufactured in Mexico, Sela. It's made in Puebla. I bought it at a pawn shop, and I haven't bought a lathe. I haven't really done anything on a lathe in about 30 years, and I could have bought a better lathe, but this one was very cheap. I got it very cheap. It has a live center, but it has no Morse taper, so I can't change that out and put anything else in without having a different tailstock. It's got a spur center here, and I've made some face plates. So I'm going to be doing some bowl turning. I'm going to teach myself how to do bowl turning. I've never done that. These are just nuts that fit the spur center, and then they're epoxied in. Cover them up with tape before you put the epoxy on so you don't ruin the threads. And then you can glue whatever you need to turn on the front. So anyways, this is a work in process. I'm still teaching myself how to do this. I haven't, like I said, I haven't turned anything in about 30 years, and I only ever did spindle turning, legs for tables, things like that. Okay, this is a 2-story building. The second story is for wood storage, and I have a small solar drying kiln upstairs. So this is the upstairs, and we're going to go upstairs next and see it. Okay, up here we have wood racks. These supports are screwed to the studs. This whole building is made out of plywood, except for the back, which is part of an existing cement structure. So I've got all kinds of wood here that I'm working on here. And on this side we have another row of supports in shorter pieces here. And then up front, I hope you can see this, is a hatch that opens up and into a solar kiln. I have plastic sheathing here and here on the top, and it's all insulated with foam insulation. Eventually this is going to have a circulation system and a fan so that the wood will get air circulation and dry out quicker. Okay, the whole reason I made this video is to show that if you have a small space, and this space is small, it's less than 8 feet by less than 14 on the inside, you can still make things. You may not be able to make big things, you may not be able to make highboys and big pieces of furniture, but you can make things. You can make small tables, you can make bigger tables if you use the outside. The doors and the windows here open up to the top, so they create a small porch area that I can use to woodwork. All the machines have to be mobile, and I'm still working on that. And all the machines, another thing to take into account is that you should try to get things at the same level so that you can use things as supports for other machines. So anyways, you don't have to have a huge shop to do things. You can start with a small shop, or some people even just start working outside. That's what I've been doing here for years. This gives me shelter from the rain, and I can do more work. So good luck, and keep working.